Hey guys, how you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. Now today on this video, I'm going to be giving you guys another Falcon and Winter Soldier video. Yes guys, we're still on here, Falcon and Winter Soldier. We are almost done. We are at the final episode now. Now this episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier is episode 5. You're on episode 5 now. There's 6 episodes altogether, so that means next week's episode is the final episode. This was definitely one of the most longest episodes I think so far. This was like 50 minutes altogether or something like that. Definitely the longest episode so far. Again, another great episode, and I gotta say, this was another fantastic episode, right? It's still not my favorite, so my favorite episode I think was last week's episode, episode 4. That was definitely my favorite episode so far. This episode 2 was another fantastic episode. Right off the bat, I gotta point out that in this episode, at the beginning of it, was amazing. It starts out perfect. We see John Walker running, and he's running to like this like abandoned, like looks like barn or something like that, or like shop or something like that, auto shop. He's down. I love it how he's like having Lamar's like, you know, voice like echoing it out in his head, and he's kind of like disoriented, and he kind of goes down. And then Sam and Bucky come in too. And I love how kind of like it starts out with like Sam and Bucky coming in, and they're kind of like trying to disarm him a little bit, trying to, you know, calm him down, and trying to tell him like, John, look at you did something bad. You know, you just killed this man. Let's go. We gotta take you in. And then he gets defensive, and he starts going crazy. He's like, I had to, you gotta understand. And then, of course, the big fight goes down. And I gotta say, that big fight was great. I love the fight scene. And that's what I have to point out. My first thing that I loved about this episode was that the fight scene, it was incredible. It reminded me of Civil War. I loved how, like, when they're fighting, John is, like, kind of, like, saying, like, don't make me do this. Like, why are you making me do this? Stuff when... they're not, like, you're doing this, but, like, it's just the acting that Wyatt Russell puts into this, and it's so great. And I love how, like, when they're seeing them fighting, he gets the upper hand of Sam, and he looks at him, he's, like, drooling, and he's, like, he's going insane. You see that he's literally going insane, and he's like, I am Captain America. Rips the freaking wings off, and then tries to do that big, his new, like, you know, I think his new big move, I guess, is the fatalities. I love how we see how Sam and Bucky need to work together to take him out, you know, break his arm, take him down, punch him, take him down. And I love that whole first scene. And I loved how, like, Bucky at the ending of the whole fight, Bucky puts the shield right next to Sam. It's kind of like, you know, like saying, like, dude, you shouldn't have given up in the first place. This is on you here. And he gives it back to him. You know, it's kind of like, I like that. Like, I kind of like that symbolism. Loved in this episode Isaiah, when we go see Isaiah and we find out more of his history, and we find out what happened with him, and we find out that he did literally the same thing that Cap did, that Steve Rogers did in the first Avengers movie when he went and saved Bucky and all of the commandos. He did the same thing, but except Cap was rewarded and congratulated and everything. But yet Isaiah, for some reason, when he went and saved his partners, he was taken in jail for 30 years and tortured and tested on and all these things. And the acting in this scene was so great. And Sam's, his reaction to all of, like, what Isaiah's saying too was so great. And it was really emotional. And honestly got me really choked up a little bit. Like, I got a little bit choked up and emotional. Just from hearing that, hearing Isaiah's perspective really moved me and really, like, made me feel emotional. And that was some really good writing work and acting that the MCU is doing. I know a lot of people didn't like this scene, but I gotta say, I really loved that boat scene. I liked the boat scene. I liked seeing it. It was really good character development. It was really good just character battency between Sam and Bucky. I loved how, like, Bucky was flirting with Sam's sister a little bit. Now, just seeing them work together, kind of having a beer together, talking, having a discussion together. That's something that this scene and the training scene does, I think, to Sam and Bucky. It's a really good character development scene, both of them, the training scene and this, with the speech that Sam gives to Bucky and all this stuff. And I love that Bucky finally understands why Sam didn't take the shield. And that training scene is literally what made me go, because before the hand, I've always been in the camp that thought only Steve Rogers is Captain America, only he can. Bucky can't, be. I mean, I know in the comic books they did other things, but even in the comic books, I was the same way. You know, I never really was a fan of Bucky as Cap. I never was a fan of John Walker or even Sam as being Cap. I always felt that Captain America was Steve Rogers. Show now managed to do what the comic books didn't even do for me, and is making me now go and be like, you know what? I can see Sam being Captain America. I can 100% see him now. If there is somebody to take the Captain America mantle, it is Sam. And I completely see that now. And this show sold me on that. And I really love that ending scene too, with Sam opening up the case. And we see that he's like surprised at what it is because it's going to be a new suit from Wakanda. And I can't wait to see that new suit because I am hoping, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed actually, that suit is going to be the suit that Sam wore as Captain America in the comic books, and I am all, I was on the edge of my seat waiting, and it got me, man. We didn't see that it ended right there, right when we seen it, but oh god, I can't wait to see that. And another thing too that got me curious in here was Batroc, was Sharon Carter and Batroc. Like, what is Sharon Carter up to? Like, she called Batroc, got him on person, said, I have a mission for you, and then we see Batroc with Carly, and they are teaming up to take down Sam. But the last time we seen, Sam and Sharon were friends. So, what is going on here? One thing, too, I gotta point out is I love the end credit scene with U.S. Agent, and when he was making his shield, his fake Walmart shield, literally, he's making it. That's just not gonna last, and we all know that's not gonna last. But I like that scene of seeing him make that shield. I don't know. It was really cool seeing him make it. The thing, too, I want to add that I didn't really like about this episode was the whole kind of reveal of Val, you know, Madam Hydra is what she should be called. I don't know. I thought it was kind of out of left field. Kind of, like, that could have been an after credit scene, I felt like. Like, that could have been something in an after credit scene. I feel like it was really detracting from the story and from the whole plot. I don't know. I love the actress from Seinfeld and everything. She's a great actress, you know. I just felt like that scene in general was kind of out of left field. My basic overall thoughts on this episode was that I really loved this episode. I thought it was a great episode, another great episode. I am really loving this show a lot. Now, it's weird. I really like WandaVision, too. And I loved WandaVision. Everyone knows WandaVision is up there, my favorite of the MCUs. But something about this show is like, I feel like this show I'm going to watch on a more of a rewatch kind of sense. It just has a more rewatch kind of sensibility to it. We haven't gotten to the final episode yet, so I don't know fully yet. But I gotta say, I am loving Falcon and Winter Soldier. It gives me everything that I love about the MCU, and it puts it on your times 10. That's what I really am loving about this show. Now, I'm going to do a separate video that's going to come out in the middle of this week, later on this week. That's going to basically be discussing on my final thoughts on what we want to expect for the final episode of the show, what I think my theories are for it. I'm going to do that on a separate video and do that on its own because there's a lot that I could talk about on that. So I'm just going to leave that for its own separate video. Now, let me know what you guys think of this show. Let me know down in the comment section below and let me know of how you're feeling about Falcon and Winter Soldier so far. Are you liking the show a lot? Are you liking it more than WandaVision? Or are you not liking it more than WandaVision? I know some people aren't necessarily liking the show as much as what I've been hearing a little bit on that. Some people aren't. So I'd really like to know your thoughts on the show down in the comment section below. And while you're at that, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I always appreciate that. I always appreciate you guys' support all the time. And until next time, guys, see you later.